All right, Coach, thank you so much for your time today. So first of all, just how you're feeling about this team after the fall and heading into the spring very soon.
Obviously feeling pretty good at the beginning of the fall with the new players. You just never know what your team is going to be, and I think that the fall kind of gives you a nice kickstart to your season and kind of shows you what you have. Super proud of the girls week in and week out. They just stepped up and performed. It felt like we were getting better as the season went on and didn't really want the fall to end. But yeah, super proud of them for the fall season.
You're going to be heading into the spring ranked number 13 in the country, still finishing in the top 5 as a team for in all 4 tournaments. Like in your years as UCF head coach, like have you seen like a kind of a kickstart to a season like that?
I think it's our best team ever this past fall. I think our record was 55-5-1, so only 5 teams in the country beat us. And I truly think from 1 to 5, that's probably our best team that we've ever had. And unfortunately, obviously, Pat's turning pro, but I think moving into the spring, we still have a pretty solid team, and it's just fun to be around.
Speaking of Pat, what did it mean to you that she was able to stay around for this fall, even though she wouldn't be able to compete and help you for the conference championship or the NCAA? To have her here for this fall stretch to get you off to an amazing start.
Yeah, and I appreciate that outlook because most people ask me, "Are you disappointed that Pat turned pro?" And I always say I'm more appreciative that she stayed in the fall and graduated. She was needing 1 class to graduate, and I certainly didn't want to see her go back to Thailand and leave UCF with 1 class on the table and get that degree. So that's probably what I'm most proud of. I mean, Pat came here 4.5 years ago, working on her English, very shy Thai girl, and to go 4 years and be 1 class short of graduating. I just talked to her about that over the summer, and we just agreed that it was in her best interest to graduate, and that's probably what I'm most proud of. Obviously, it helped our team tremendously. She's a great player. She's always been a good leader, but I think that probably walking away with that degree meant the most to us.
Yeah, I mean, walking away one of the lowest scoring averages in program history. I mean, considering the golfers that you have worked with over the years, Ashley Holder, like where does Pat Pitting kind of stack up when you think about a lot of the golfers that have come through here?
I mean, Pat has to be one of the top 2, if not the best. Like you said, Ashley Holder and Pat were very similar with their careers. Right from the get-go, Pat won twice her freshman year, and then obviously COVID happened, so she was one of those COVID student athletes. Her career got interrupted, but yeah, she will go down as one of our best players of all time, and just somebody who on and off the golf course meant a lot to our program.
And of course, her fellow Thai Sandwich Sasutham, back for her sophomore year, picked up another individual victory, her second of the calendar year 2023. What have you seen from Sandwich over the course of this fall now that she's in her second year?
Yeah, I think the second year for someone like a player like Sandwich is knowing the golf course, knowing our routines. As a freshman, obviously it's hard to come in golf that you don't even know the courses. I think that's a huge advantage going into your second year, that she knows the golf courses. She's an amazing player. She's so consistent, so steady. But I think now having not only the knowledge of golf courses, but kind of how this all works, right? She came from Thailand, didn't know what she was getting herself into, and now she kind of knows how practices, workouts, the team, how things kind of work. You can just see that there's a comfort level there that she can go out now and just play golf and not have to worry about as much off the course probably. So yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, picked up, top finisher for you guys in two of the 4 tournaments in the fall. But of course, you have a new freshman phenom for you guys out there on the course, Molly Smith, who individually is ranked number 14 in the country after picking up a win at the Mercedes-Benz intercollegiate. Tell me about Molly. What was it like recruiting her, and what has it been like watching her get off to the start that she's had this fall?
Yeah, what a nice surprise Molly has been for the lineup. We recruited Molly kind of later in the recruiting process, and there was just something special about Molly. I think everybody can kind of see that. She has something that's kind of unassuming about her. She goes about her business, she works really hard, but she just has kind of a comfort about herself, that she believes in herself. And I don't know if that was overlooked in recruiting, but I saw something in Molly that was special. And she has been probably a leader off the course too. She just has kind of a lighthearted personality. She's a leader, probably, even though she wouldn't categorize herself that as a freshman. You don't see that a lot, but she has no fear. She loves to play. She loves to have fun. She looks at golf as fun, not a job. So we're obviously thrilled that she's here with us and excited to see what she can do this spring.
I mean, even before coming to UCF, I was seeing her making headlines through the golf world as she became the first woman to compete in the Massachusetts state amateur. What stands out to you about about Molly's game that's really gotten her off to, I mean, she's number 14 in the country for a reason.
Yeah, and that part of, going viral for playing in men's events, Molly will tell you, she said, I was just playing in golf tournaments. I wasn't trying to make a political statement or do anything out of the norm. She just loves to play. And what stands out is probably she just owns her own game. I mean, it's very unique. She believes in her game. She has an amazing talent to just get the ball in the hole. I mean, she never gives up. Everything's solid with her, from her short game to off the tee. She's just solid all the way around, but she kind of owns what she does. And I think that's probably her ability to compete at any level, any competition, any golf course is amazing.
You bringing in new grad transfer Brittany Shin. She ended up getting her best performance of the fall right at the last the event of the fall, the landfall tradition. What's it been like working with Brittany this season, and what stood out for you for her in the portal?
Yeah, I'm so excited Brittany's here. As a fifth year, you only get them for 2 semesters, and we are excited to get Brittany here back in Florida. She's from Florida, so to come West Coast back home, I think there's a comfort level for her of being back in her home state. And again, she's somebody who off the golf course I think has helped us a lot too. She has a great personality. She adds to our team chemistry. And again, she's a very talented player. And I think just having the opportunity to play here on a regular basis in the lineup has given her confidence. And I think that she wants to end on a high note, coming off Oregon. I think that she probably came in with a little chip on her shoulder, like, hey, I want to go to a team and contribute. And we're so excited she's here.
Then of course you have Jess Baker coming back. I still remember when she won the women's amateur a year ago. What has it been like for her? She picked up 2 top 20 finishes in the fall. When you look at Jess Baker, like over the course of this last couple of months, what have you seen from her?
Yeah, Jess has had a huge transformation in the last 2 years, I would say. She took ownership of her short game and is working with the coach there. And I think that's really the turning point for her. She's very strong mentally, and I think she just needed that confidence with her short game. And ever since then, she's been a different player. I think every single week that Jess tees it up, she has a chance to win now. And I think she really believes that. And I know that's one of her goals. But again, she's another leader off the course. I keep saying that. And I think that's what's been leading to our successes. When you have a bunch of girls off the course that are leading day in and day out, I think that makes a difference. And Jess is that for us. She's a senior now. It's hard to believe, but she's come so far in 4 years. I mean, she's, admittedly struggled with her game and then got it back, won the British Amateur. And I'm just so proud that, she had her kind of, as she would say, hit rock bottom and then pulled herself up out of that, and that's not easy to do as an athlete. So really proud of her and excited to see what she can do, towards her end of her career here.
So with Pat's graduation, that does leave a spot open in the starting lineup. Of course, you have 2 new true freshmen in Emma Beyer, Katie Poots, and you also have Camille Banzet, who's been competing as an individual over the course of this fall. So what about those 3 golfers kind of stands out to you, and who do you think maybe will be able to take up this spot vacated by Pat?
Yeah, we probably look to Cam on that. Cam is the next scoring average. Cam has played a lot for us through her career here. She's the most experienced. But Emma and Katie are 2 talented players too that I think are hungry to get into the lineup and prove themselves a little bit. So the spring kind of provides us a little bit longer time to qualify and get more reps in as far as playing and competing. So we'll see. But for now, we probably would expect Cam. She traveled a lot in the fall, even played as an individual. So kind of knowing the golf courses and knowing Cam, has had a lot of success early on in her career. I think that she's, again, eager to end on a high note here for us. So we went back through as a coach, we look at stats and just look at numbers. And if we plug Cam into where Pat would have been, the stroke average is like 9-shot difference. But when we look back, we still would have won Tennessee. We would have finished second at Eviodum. We probably would still be top 25, 30 in the country. And that's reassuring that we have a solid team. And plugging Cam in there as of right now could really still we be in a great position.
looking through the fall schedule, all 4 of your scores are among the 10th lowest team 54 hole scores in program history. You said earlier that this team could be your best team ever. What on the course kind of makes you makes that argument?
They're very talented, but again, I'm somebody who's going to keep harping back to the environment. They play for each other. They are all really close, and I think that's what takes you over the edge is when you are really close with each other. There's that sense of responsibility to practice hard and to go out there and to compete. And I think when times get going tough on the golf course, they really pull through for each other. And I saw that firsthand. I mean, hole by hole, they're waving to each other, they're playing hard for each other. And I just feel like they have a sense of responsibility for each other. And now, I mean, quite frankly, we've played to that standard. And when you've had as much success as we have, I think you get used to that and you kind of want that to continue. So it's a great group, and we're excited about the spring.
You finish your regular season going out to Texas for first the Texas Showdown in Dallas, and then the Big 12 Championship in Hockley. I mean, obviously the big, changing the conference doesn't necessarily get changed. A lot of this stuff that comes beforehand. But what are your thoughts about going into the Big 12 and that new regular season tournament in Texas before the Big 12 Championship?
Yeah, the Texas Showdown's new for us. It's just started this year, and it's at the Dallas Athletic Club, and the Big 12 Championship will be there in 2 years. So we definitely wanted to get eyes on that and see what the course is about, and to get a little bit of match play experience. The national championship is match play, so you kind of like to get a few match play reps under your belt. The Big 12 Championship, we go up against those schools a lot. So what's unique about our format in women's college golf is we see the best teams in the country week in and week out. We've been up against Texas a lot. They're a good program right now leading the Big 12. But, I think that it's a strong conference, and from top to bottom, we know we're going to have to play our best to compete, and we're excited to see how our first year goes.
The race is on for which UCF team can get that first conference title. What do you think your team would have to do to be that first team to get it for that Big 12 title?
Yeah, I mean, we have to play good. We got to be at our best. I mean, any of those schools can win, and that would be an amazing thing. I know in the coaches here at UCF, we have a little competition of who can be the first coach to get a Big 12 championship. But, it's funny about goals. Our team doesn't really talk about goals that much as far as winning. Again, we always get back to the process and playing to our standard and going to each event prepared and doing our best. And in golf, we don't win a lot, so we try to celebrate every day and little things along the way. And hopefully that gets us to the NCAA championship. And if we get to claim a Big 12 championship, that would be nice too. So,
given the success that you and your team have seen over recent years, it's been a little bit since you've made it to the NCAA championship. What do you think it's going to take for this team to get over the hump and get back to the championship, which will be in California this year?
Yeah, I think that we can definitely get to finals. I thought that last year too, and again, it's so hard. What I learned in 2019 is when we made it, it's very hard. A lot of things have to go well. Has to be on the right golf course. We have to go in really prepared. And sometimes it's a little bit of luck. I mean, you can have a very talented team, but it just has to be your week. And that's just how golf works. We just know that it has to be our week that week. We don't know what region we'll get sent to. So there's a lot of things that have to go well. But again, if we can keep building that confidence throughout the semester, so when we get to that opportunity that we can play our best for those 3 days. I mean, that's what we're trying to do, is get to the NCAA regionals, play our best those 3 days and see what happens. And, I think with this group, we probably have as much chance of any team we've ever had to get to the finals.
Speaking of confidence, people around here seem to have that in you because you got an extension until 2028. How has it been? What has it been like kind of being here for as long as you have, and now getting that extension for a few years longer?
Yeah, I've been here forever, right? Yeah, I'm extremely proud to lead the program at UCF. This is year 11, so we've come a long way, baby. I mean, we've been through, I was Big East when I first got here for about 6 months, and then the American Conference. And, it's just great to be in such a supportive environment where we get a chance to compete both, for conference, regionals, nationals, and to be in a supportive environment. But I think joining the Big 12, that was a big moment for us. So, it's just, I'm extremely proud to be here and be the coach and see where we can take our program.
Well, you got to start in the spring with the UCF Challenge at Eagle Creek. Your girl Anna Nordforce picked up the individual victory back then. I still remember the run that she went on at the very end. to get that. What do you think it will take though for you guys to win the team title at Eagle Creek this time around?
Yeah, again, we have 17 teams coming. They're extremely competitive, and we know the course very well. And actually, Sandwich won't be with us for that event. She's playing in the Asian Pacific Amateur, so it's a good opportunity for her to go home and compete in a worldwide event. So again, I think it's leading up until the regionals and the national championships. Our first tournament's always just to kind of get the rust out a little bit, compete, and just see where we land at the end.
Yeah, I've been noticing actually over the past couple of years with the golf and tennis teams that people seem to really succeed in the professional sphere. The tennis team, of course, got a couple professional wins this fall, and Jess had the women's amateur last year, and now Sandwich is going to the Asia Pacific Amateur. What is it about kind of like a sport like golf that kind of lets you be able to not only play out in the world like with these amateur championships, but also compete for your school?
Yeah, I think it's different when you play for your team a little bit. And they have to go compete for their national teams and on those levels. And it's a great experience for them. So I always encourage them to go play in national team events or to represent their country. I know that's a huge honor for them as well. And it only benefits our team and makes our team stronger. So I think, competing individually is great. But when you come and compete for a team, I always tell them when you turn pro, you're going to be by yourself, and that's a lonely life. But when you're here with a team and we have team dinners and people supporting you, I think they really cherish those years, probably more so after they graduate and they turn pro. They kind of look back and say, wow, it was great to have my team together all the time and supporting me. And, we try to embrace that as much as we can while they're here.
What do you want to see from this team, what this team did in the fall? What do you want to see them take with them from that time into the spring, because you got off to a really great start?
Yeah, it would just be the environment. That's the number one thing we keep talking about is the environment at practice, at workouts. We carry that over to tournaments of just being supportive, encouraging each other, empowering each other. That's really been our strongest asset. They're tremendous golfers, but when they really encourage each other, support each other, that environment, it's hard to beat. And it's really cool to be around a team that has that standard, and every time they tee it up, just competing. And that's, I think, that if we say our goal is just to compete every single week, whether you win, whether you don't win, it's just to come with that attitude, being prepared, and giving your best effort. That's all we ask.
Awesome. Well, best of luck with that in the spring, Coach.
Thank you.